Mystery of Flight MH370. The Vanishing Flight. On March 8, 2014, a Boeing 777 took off from Kuala Lumpur International Airport, bound for Beijing Capital International Airport. The flight was numbered MH370, a designation that would soon become infamous worldwide. Carrying 239 passengers and crew, it was an ordinary red-eye flight, a routine journey between two bustling capitals. But what transpired that night would catapult MH370 into one of the greatest aviation mysteries in history. As dawn broke and news spread of the plane's disappearance, the world was drawn into an unprecedented investigation that remains unresolved to this day. What happened to flight MH370 and why has the truth eluded us for so long? The fateful flight. March 8, 2014 began uneventfully for the passengers and crew aboard MH370 at precisely 12:41 a.m. The plane took off, climbing steadily into the sky. Captain Zahir Amateur and First Officer Farik Abdul Hamid were in charge of the aircraft. The flight's early progress was smooth, with routine communication exchanged between the cockpit and air traffic control. However, at 1:19 a.m., shortly after this aircraft entered Vietnamese airspace, the co-pilot's voice was heard for the last time. "Good night, Malaysian 370. Minutes later, the plane vanished from radar screens. Its transponder, which provides crucial tracking data, was inexplicably turned off. Efforts to contact the flight were met with silence. MH370 had disappeared into the vast expanse of the Indian Ocean without a trace. The initial search. The search of MH370 began as a frantic and chaotic effort. Within hours of the plane's disappearance, search and rescue teams from Malaysia, Vietnam, China, and other nations scoured the South China Sea. The initial assumption was that the aircraft had suffered a catastrophic failure and crashed near its intended route. However, as days turned into weeks, no wreckage was found in the expected area. Amid mounting pressure from families and governments, the search expanded dramatically. The operation eventually became the largest and most expensive in aviation history, spanning millions of square kilometers and involving advanced technology, including sonar-equipped submarines and satellite imagery. Yet the ocean refused to give up its secrets. Early theories. In the absence of concrete evidence, speculation ran rampant. Was MH370 the victim of a hijacking? Could it have suffered a catastrophic mechanical failure, or had it fallen prey to a sinister act of terrorism? Some theories posited that the plane had been commandeered mid-flight and flown to a secret location. Others suggested a rapid decompression event or an onboard fire that incapacitated the crew and passengers. The lack of communication from the cockpit only deepened the mystery. With each passing day, the questions grew more urgent, but answers remained elusive. Debris and data. In July 2015, more than a year after the disappearance, a piece of MH370 was finally discovered on the island of Reunion in the Indian Ocean. This was the first tangible evidence that the plane had crashed. Over the following years, additional debris was found along the coasts of Mozambique, Tanzania, and South Africa. These fragments including a wing flapron and pieces of the cabin interior, provided crucial clues about the aircraft's final moments. The black box. Despite these discoveries, the plane's flight data recorder and the cockpit voice recorder remain missing. These black boxes are essential for understanding what happened during the flight's final hours. Unfortunately, locating them in the vast, featureless depths of Indian Ocean proved extraordinarily difficult. The device's underwater locator beacons had long since ceased transmitting, complicating the search. The satellite data. One of the most critical breakthroughs came from satellite communication data. The plane's satellite link, through not transmitting positional information, sent periodic pings to a ground station. By analyzing these pings, investigators were able to estimate MH370's likely trajectory. This data suggested that the aircraft had deviated sharply from its intended course, flying south over the Indian Ocean until it presumably ran out of the fuel. But why? Deliberate act. The possibility that MH370's disappearance was the result of a deliberate act has been hotly debated. Some experts believe that someone in the cockpit intentionally disabled the plane's communication system and altered its course. Captain Zahir Ahmad Shah's personal life and psychological state were scrutinized, with some alleging that he may have orchestrated the disappearance in a planned act of suicide. However, no definitive evidence has been ever found to support this theory. Mechanical malfunction. Others argue that a mechanical failure such as onboard fire or rapid decompression could explain the loss of communication and change in flight path. In this scenario, the crew may have been incapacitated, leaving the aircraft to fly on autopilot until it exhausted its fuel. While this theory aligns with the available satellite data, it does not account for the deliberate disabling of the transponder. The pilot's role. Investigators also considered the actions of the flight's captain and first officer. Zahir was an experienced pilot with over 18,000 flight hours, while Farik was relatively new to the 777 simulations. Conducted on Zahir's home flight simulator showed routes similar to the one taken by MH370, fueling suspicion. However, friends and family insist that Zahir was a dedicated professional with no motive for such an act. A global tragedy. The disappearance of MH370 was a devastating blow to the families of the passengers and crew. Their anguish was compounded by the lack of closure and the seemingly endless stream of theories and speculation. The aviation industry also faced intense scrutiny, with calls for improved tracking and communication technologies to prevent similar incidents in the future. Enduring mystery. The absence of definitive answers has turned MH370 into a modern enigma. Conspiracy theories abound, ranging from alien abduction to secret military operations. While most of these are far-fetched, they reflect the deep human need to make sense of the inexplicable. The mystery of MH370 continues to captivate and confound in equal measure. Lessons learned. In the wake of MH370, aviation authorities introduced measures to improve flight tracking and ensure better coordination during emergencies. Enhanced satellite communication systems and the adoption of real-time data streaming are among the changes aimed at preventing another such tragedy. However, the incident also highlighted the challenges of conducting large-scale searches in remote and inhospitable environments. Unanswered questions. Despite years of investigation, several key questions remained unanswered. Why did MH370 deviate from its intended route? What caused the plane's communication systems to be disabled? And where exactly is the main wreckage located? These mysteries continue to haunt the families of those aboard and fuel ongoing efforts to uncover the truth. Future discoveries. Advances in technology and new search methods offer hope that MH370's final resting place may one day be found. The discovery of additional debris or breakthroughs in underwater mapping could provide critical new evidence. Until then, the search continues, driven by a commitment to uncover the truth and honor the memory of those lost. Enduring search. The disappearance of MH370 remains one of the most perplexing events in modern aviation history. As the years pass, the mystery deepens, but so too does the determination to find answers. For the families of the passengers and crew, the hope of closure endures. And for the world, the story of MH370 is a stark reminder of the vastness of our planet and the resilience of the human spirit in the face of the unknown.